Hey, hey, come on in and make some messy party sliders with me. I've got my big iron skillet on the stove. Not my iron skillet that I make my bread, my cornbread, and my biscuits in. That's a no-no. So I have this bigger skillet that I'm going in with 1 pound of lean ground beef. And into that ground beef, I'm going to put 1 medium onion, probably a cup of diced bell pepper. I like to go ahead and cook that with my meat mixture. This is really lean meat, so I'm not gonna really probably have hardly any fat to drain off. Maybe none at all. A big squeeze of minced garlic. We're just gonna cook that meat and get all of those onions and bell pepper tender. This will also be a great party food for the upcoming game. We've got all that ground meat ground up, and I don't have anything to drain off. Next, I have a can of Rotel tomatoes that I've drained. There's not a whole lot of liquid in Rotel, but drain that off. You don't want any of that liquid in there. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of mustard powder, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. If you have regular, that's fine. Don't go buy the smoked one if you don't want to. But if you've got the smoked paprika, use that one in here. Just gives it a little bit of a different flavor than the regular one. And that's it. Let's stir it all together. I have that turned down really low. I'm gonna let it just cook just a little bit. I don't have, like I said, I don't have much fat in there. So I'm gonna have to be careful that this doesn't stick. I just want all those flavors cooked in that meat. We're gonna put a glaze on the top of these sliders. It's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna start with 1 stick of butter in my saucepan with 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Make sure you pack your tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And 1 tablespoon of mustard. I'm not gonna be able to eat one of these sliders for you, but this meat is excellent. And you have all of that butter melted and everything mixed in. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds. And that completes our glaze. Okay, I have a 12 pack of rolls. I like the Hawaiian style. Forgot this part. If I seem a little frazzled today, it's been challenging to record 3 recipes, so pardon me. So this is about a 13 by 9. Again, I'm putting it in a disposable dish because I'm taking it somewhere. I'm gonna spray my pan good with nonstick spray. The way I cut my rolls when I'm making sliders is I use a serrated bread knife and hold the top and just cut through. What I'm doing is cutting the top off. But this is a really long knife, and I stabilize the top so that I can go all the way through, hopefully. There we go. That way, usually, this is a different brand rolls than what I normally buy, so they're a little more separated. So usually you can just lift, if you buy the King's Hawaiian rolls, you can just lift the whole lid off, but those kind of separated, but that's okay, that's okay. But the bottom pretty much stayed together. I'm gonna put those in the bottom of my pan and spoon my meat mixture on top. And y'all, I got in a hurry and did this backwards. Skylar and Crew are about to be back here and I wanna go spend some time with him. So I was rushing. I know you know how that is in the kitchen. When you get too many irons in the fire, you're gonna get something backwards. Normally I put the cheese down first on the bread. That gives a base for the meat and it keeps the bottom from getting quite as soggy as it cooks. So when you make it, put your cheese down first, but we're just gonna roll with it. And all I did was pile all of that meat, that whole pound of meat mixture on top of the rolls. And this is sharp cheddar slices. You can't put too much. Now, put our top back on. All right, so I'm just gonna lay them back on there. I got a few of them stayed together. For this part, I like to use that same knife. I slice the top off and go ahead and slice them. You're basically going ahead and cutting through. And the reason I like to go ahead and cut them now is so that the glaze I'm about to pour on there goes down all the sides of every bite. If you just pour the glaze on the top, it's just gonna spread out on the very top and run off the sides. But if you cut it first, it's gonna run down the side of each roll. Uh-oh, it's Crew. Oh, he's asleep. Hey, Lolly is right where you left her. Yes. Did y'all have fun?
Oh yeah.
Come on in.
Smells good.
You see why I'm in a hurry and forgot to put the cheese down first? Because I knew they'd be coming back. I cut all of them so that this can happen. You know that glaze we just made? Now I'm going to spoon it on top of the rolls. They're trying to be quiet because I'm filming. I told them they know we live here. They can just carry on like normal. I've got my oven set to 350. We're gonna go straight in that oven for about 25 minutes. So you're basically wanting them to get the cheese melted and to get a little toasty on top.
Miss Kim, I love it. Thank you. This is our wedding gift 3 years later.
I'm not sure who Kim is, but she straight blasted you on my cooking page. The tops were getting a little bit harder on these, so I pulled them out at about 20 minutes. I can tell the cheese is nice and melty. These are yummy. I want one, but I can't have one. Try these and let me know what you think. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Be blessed. Love you guys.